This week, I've come back to my hometown in Leicester, and I'm currently staying in my childhood room, as you guys can see. I don't even know if I'm making this for people, but to future self or whoever's watching this, this is my week two reflections from The Artist's Way, the program that I've been doing. There it is, by Julia Cameron. Um, so I've really been sticking to the morning pages now. This is like my second week. Technically, I've been doing it a little bit earlier than starting the program, so it's like my third-ish week of just writing them straight away in the morning, which sometimes feels jarring. I'm not gonna lie, because like you're just like half asleep and you kind of just want to get through it. That's the way I've been feeling this week, which is slightly different from the first week, which felt more a bit more empowering to want to write it and find fun things and have realizations. And also in the first week, I was also rewiring a lot of my original thoughts. It's crazy. I just see it like a childhood friend walking past, somebody who I need to get in touch with. But yeah, I'm gonna leave him do his thing for now. He's really far out. But so yeah, as I was saying, I feel that the morning pages this week has been somewhat of a chore, but I've still been sticking to them pretty much like the moment I wake up. Sometimes I'll go for a quick shit and then get back to my pages, but most times just straight from bed. Um, and yeah, like I think I've been feeling wanting to get the morning pages over and done with um, this week. Maybe it's because I'm back home and like I kind of want to get up to other things, or it's just that kind of week. So yeah, and I think that when I'm writing the pages, maybe there's a slight resistance to me wanting to complain or vent. And that's something that I'll have to dig more into in the future weeks. But yeah, it's good to know if that is the case. And I kind of felt that maybe today, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna go into the complaining, whining, worried, anxious side, and maybe that's what needs to happen. So yeah, I know Julia Cameron talks a lot about like writing your affirmations, from the book and like your own personal affirmations into the book. But I'm not gonna lie, like my memory is not that sharp. I only remember there's one affirmation that really sticks out to me, which is my creativity heals myself and others, which is something that I never really had in mind before. So it kind of drives me to want to create more. I'm not gonna lie. And this week I don't know if I've had an official artist date, which I'm gonna try and do before tomorrow, which is tomorrow Sunday. But I have been spending a lot of time, on my guitar, playing about. I have been spending, like the odd time in the charity stores. And I went to a space center, which is one of my alternative careers. When she said like, can you list 5 imaginary lives? One of mine was an astronaut. And for those of you that don't know, Leicester has like a space center, which I've always been a massive geek about since I was a kid. So I remember going there for school trips and like, I went with friends every now and then. And I thought, you know what, it's been years since I've been there. Let me go back. And so I took my girlfriend and we really had a great time. And it definitely, excited me about the space stuff again. So that was cool. This week's creative task, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of procrastinating on them until the very last minute. So I just did them like 5, 10 minutes ago. But they were good. A little bit different from the week prior. I think I enjoyed more of, listing creative enemies and listing creative people. Um, I think I enjoyed that a little bit more. But I will say that either way, it was fun because I think I'm just chatting shit now. I just don't say. I think I will say that the artist days. Let me just check what tasks were on this week. Okay, list things you enjoy doing. Yeah, I think that when I was listing these tasks and stuff, shit like that, like I think a lot of these things are things that I already lean towards in my life. Like it's talking towards like, how much spirituality and play and adventure do you have in your life? And I'm like, yo, I try like so many things to reach that way. So I think I can imagine for somebody who's never, tried to lean into their playful side or their adventurous side, maybe they'll be like, oh my god, yeah, I never do that. So yeah, I see how effective it can be for that. For me, I think it's more sort of reaffirming stuff that I'd known. And then yeah, maybe just a little fucking update in general. Like being back home in Leicester has been cool. Definitely feeling my nervous system a little bit more on edge. Maybe that's just random, or maybe that comes with a lot of people that go to their places where they grew up. Um, a lot of work's been doing to the house, so like the house has been busy. Um, and yeah, but it's great seeing family though. It really is. It's a blessing, and I think that I would say I feel better coming towards the end of the week right now, and I feel more grounded. And next week is going to be another big week in Leicester. So yeah, I'm coming back to London like halfway through the week. So yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything that we had to list the 10 tiny changes. A lot of mine was like learning new skills, and also time blocking and scheduling is something that I've really, really sucked at so far in my life. So far until this point. Now I'm going to change. Um, so yeah, I think I need to get the affirmations from this book and from my own affirmations and get them a bit more into my morning pages. I did 5 more imaginary lives, which were interesting. Um, and yeah, just like listed more activities that I enjoy. I think I need to get into some more sports and some more physical and fighting activities so I can channel my inner warrior. But yeah, other than that, were there any other issues that you consider significant for your recovery? Describe them. No. Anyway, yeah, so it's cool to switch up the stimulation. It'd be interesting to see what it's like going back into my London normal kind of routine and seeing how this continues. But yeah, peace.